No, I was just telling Robert. I mean, it's just a fine line these games. It's been a bounce here, bounce there. Now I think the wins are justified in that we've carried the game at the important moments. But in soccer, it's a bounce. It's a slip. It's little moments dictate outcomes, and while we've been very good, we've also been fortunate in some areas. So I feel good about it. I don't take things for granted. I think we still have to be better. We need to have a little more balance to our attack if we're going to continue to win games against top opponents, and we've beat good teams. I think. What's it been? We've played we played 7 games, and we played, I think, 5 ranked opponents. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You know, at the time that we played them, they were, top 20 teams. So we've been tested, and I also think it's often easier to play well against top opponents because you're excited for the challenge, and you're playing a team that often feels they're your equal, and it's an open game. I think when you play some of these other teams, we saw it with Missouri State. They were very defensive, and it presents different challenges. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to see this Friday. We open conference play against South Carolina, who's a good team with some real capable players. I sure hope they come out and play us and want to go toe-to-toe with us. We'll see. But that's what we look for. We want a game where we can get at them and we can commit numbers to the attack, and our opponent feels the same way. That's what you look for as a coach. It makes for an entertaining game. But outside of that, it's just a great group, and guys are coming together. We're back to health. Everybody's healthy, and that presents good things and bad things, because now you have really good players that have seen minutes that maybe aren't seeing the minutes that they saw early in the season. So it's our challenges right now. There's a lot of player management things, keeping guys happy, keeping them motivated. Never easy, but good problems to have, especially when the team's doing so well. So not sure what else to say, knock on wood, things keep going well. Our first focus has to be defensively. If we can shut out our opponent, you're not going to lose. That's where it starts. And we've been pretty good on the defensive side of the ball, and we need to continue to get balanced scoring. It's very important that Nico Hansen got things going this past weekend. 2 big goals, one of them just a world-class goal. That tying goal against American was something else. He's in a good place. I think Chris Weehan's just felt such a load on his back, and he's just really kind of physically and mentally fatigued. So that's a big thing this week, kind of get him back where he needs to be, as with the rest of the players. It's been fast and furious so far. So after this weekend, we play Friday, then we play Wednesday, then we play Sunday, and then we start getting into a little bit nicer rhythm where we can get back to having a little bit more quality training sessions and continue to get better.
What about that number 7 ranking? What do you think of that?
I mean, rankings are a funny deal in that it's still a popularity contest to some degree. At the end of the season, it's primarily based on a ratings point index on your RPI in terms of where things go. It's just not something that we can put any time into right now. We have to be about the next game. We got to be about the next practice. It's a good situation to be in. It's flattering, but it also means that it gives your opponent that much more incentive. And as soon as you let that get to your head, and our players take 1 second off, it's costly. So it's been doing this long enough, and we've been fortunate here to have high rankings. We're used to it, and you see when it goes in your favor and when it goes against you. So I think without just the old cliches, it's just that's what we expect to be a ranked team here, and we need to play like that every day.
With that said, how do you keep the guy's mind kind of where it needs to be and not let the ranking kind of get to our head a little bit?
You know, it's just kind of focusing on concrete things. I mean, and you hate to reference last year, but there were some valuable lessons last year. I think we were ranked, fourth, fifth last year, and you didn't get into the NCAA tournament. So that shows you what early season rankings mean. Absolutely nothing. We got to be good on Friday, and then we got to be good on Wednesday, and then we got to be good on Sunday. So there's no rest for the weary. You know, it's like they say, you know, the reward for hard work's more hard work. That's who we got to be.
Hey, Coach, you know that Coach Burnson from South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
he's won 464 games.
Mm-hmm.
How do you compare that with all-time college coaches? That must be an incredible record, won 464 games.
Either that or he's really old. No, I mean, he's not that old. He's been pretty successful. You know,
How you rank him with other top coaches in the country?
I think he's a great coach, you know, and he's a great man manager, and he's great for the game. He's really a good voice in college soccer. Very important. And he's, you know, he's served as a mentor to many just in terms of what he's done for the good of the game and the lives he's impacted. That, in addition to being, you know, an excellent tactician and just a very good coach. So it's always an honor to face guys like that, you know, who are your peers and that you've looked up to, you know, as a young coach, as a player. I mean, that's a name that's, you know, synonymous with success. So always fun to face guys like that. And even more fun to beat them. Yeah.
How do you handicap the conference?
You know, Old Dominion's been really good. I think Charlotte's going to be really good. I think there's a lot of talented teams. And you know what? For the guys that have had a slower start, it's a second life. So it's all competitive. I think Florida International is much better this year. They brought in 3 impact-type players, and they were talented last year. So I think it's pretty wide open. Like I said, it's just best for us just to be about the next game and continue to be strong defensively, to be humble, to be hardworking, and to be unified. And I feel real good about the future.
Talk about your defense at this point. Where are they at right now?
They're good. You know, it's I think Jason's been excellent in goal. You know, Chowski and Gurley have been solid. They played every minute center back. We need to probably get another guy in there, get a little bit more of a rotation. Yuri Demisiani's given us some minutes, you know, as he's come back to good health. So he and Josh Goss have been kind of splitting the load on the left side. And then Aaron Herrera has been good. Lucas Seligman's been good. I thought Lucas came in and was tremendous for us against American. So it's competitive back there, and that's good. You got a lot of able bodies that show that they can perform. It's a good situation for us.
Have you thought about what to do about getting us going in the first half, because we don't score in the first half? Is there something you might be able to figure out?
Man, I wish it was that simple. I mean, it's a sense of urgency. It's also, from a coaching standpoint, it's a different approach when it's a 1-game weekend versus a 2-game weekend. And I think when you have depth, you feel really good about the second half, that you're going to maybe wear teams down a little bit, and you're not demanding the same kind of minutes by certain guys. And I think that's always an interesting one as a coach, when players feel that the pressure's not on them, that there's somebody else that can do it. For some guys, you get the most out of them, and some you don't. So it's still finding that balancing act. You know, we haven't been playing Nico Hansen 90 minutes. We haven't lately played Chris Weehan 90 minutes. And these other guys need to give us a lift when they come in. They're not in there to keep us at the same level. They're in there to make us better. And I think we'll continue to see a little bit more balance from our attack, and I like where we're at. But yeah, sure, you'd like to have a couple games where you score early or you go up a couple goals. You'd be a little bit more relaxed, that's for sure.
And we're coming from behind almost every time, aren't we?
Well, you can't do that too often.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone our way. But if you're behind in the second half, regardless of who you're playing, you're not going to win all those games. That would be very naive to think that.